Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I'm with my co-host,
Carson, and I'm with my co-host.
Grayson. Now, how do you feel about talking about something weird this week?
I've heard you've been wanting to talk about sandwiches for the past about month now. Ever since we started this, you've been talking about wanting to do sandwiches.
Yeah, so this is like my brainchild episode, so I think first off, let's go into the first thing. What is the definition of a sandwich, do you say?
In my opinion, I think it's just whatever is in between two pieces of bread
All right.
directly on top of each other. But it's not a burger because a patty is what makes a burger a burger.
But what about a turkey burger?
It's still that patty in there. Having a patty inside of a burger is what makes it the burger.
So you would say a burger needs the patty to make a burger. Okay.
Yeah.
Then. Now onto an actual sandwich. What do you say makes the sandwich?
What makes a sandwich is just any sort of bread, and then whatever's in the middle, then another piece of bread on top. At most, usually savory as well, not really a sweet kind of thing.
Yeah. What do you think the middle ingredient needs to be, like let's say here, edible or something that's hot, cold? What do you think it needs to be?
I'd hope it'd be edible, yeah.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, hot and cold as well. But either one could be a sandwich.
alrighty then. Now, what about deli style, Cuban? You got all those types of different styles of sandwiches. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No deli style. I'm not too familiar with Cuban.
All right, a Cuban is, I believe it's a pulled pork, bacon, mustard, pickle kind of sandwich.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but what do different styles of sandwiches do?
It's just different. It's like what putting toppings on a pizza. It gives you different flavors. It's just a different different meal.
Yeah,
for whatever you're in the
what
mood
you
with.
mean. Now, what do you think makes a sandwich so, special depending on the temperature?
I mean, technically, I don't count this, but if you make it hotter, it is technically a panini, not a sandwich, but I still consider them sandwiches.
I've never heard of a panini. What is a panini?
It's just really just a hot sandwich that you use. You usually press it down as well in a panini presser or
I know.
usually like a grilled.
Yeah, I know what
sandwich.
you're talking about now. So, let's go on to my definition of a sandwich, because this is where it's going to get a bit crazy, folks. So, my definition of a sandwich is anything, and I mean anything between two slices of bread. But if the bread is, what if the bread's connected? Like, if you can't do, like, what if you can't afford to have two pieces of bread, so you just fold a single piece of bread in half and put ingredients in it, but the bread is still connected?
I think that's still a sandwich. It's just half a sandwich less, but it's still a sandwich, I think.
Now, what about hot dogs, though? You gotta think about it.
The thing that does not make a hot dog a sandwich is what's inside of it. It's a wiener. It's the same with the burger. Like, as soon as you throw that patty in there, it's a burger, not a sandwich.
But what about breakfast sandwiches? Because a hot dog is technically a sausage. So you put sausage in breakfast sandwiches. So is a hot dog technically not qualifying as a sandwich?
I mean, it just all depends on how you serve it. Because if I chopped a hot dog into little bits and threw it in a sandwich, it would be a sandwich then. But if it's the full thing, the full long thing, it's a hot dog.
That's where I have to disagree. But let's go on to toppings first off. What do you think about chili and cheese on sandwiches or hot dogs? Do those like change the...
Chili and cheese makes a hot dog delicious. That's my favorite kind of hot dog, personally.
Same. Now, what about on an actual sandwich? Do you think chili belongs on a sandwich?
I mean, it doesn't sound horrible. I've never personally tried it myself, but it doesn't actually sound that bad.
Really?
Because that's kind of like a sloppy Joe when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Just less meat.
Now, what about cannolis? Do you know what a cannoli is?
Those are they're sweet, right?
It's like, think of a pastry like wrapped in burrito form, but with a filling inside of it and with stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
What about that? Is that a sandwich? Because a pastry is technically a kind of bread, is it not?
Kinda, yeah. Like I guess you can consider a pastry type of, because it is made out of wheat as well.
Yeah.
But I do not think it is either. As one, I consider a sandwich savory. I don't see much sweet. The only sweet sandwich I can think of is a peanut butter jelly.
Now, speaking of peanut butter and jelly, can that be considered a sandwich? Because you just said a sandwich has to be savory, but a peanut butter and jelly is sweet.
It's more of like a breakfast sandwich, but if you don't want eggs or bacon, it's a perfect breakfast meal.
Yeah.
Just like when you put jam on toast.
But Speaking of breakfast sandwiches again, what about bagels?
I think actually a bagel sandwich, you can have that. A bagel can be a sandwich if you cut it right down the middle, throw like bacon, egg, whatever you want in there. I think that is sort of a sandwich.
But is bagel technically a pastry because it's not made the same way bread is traditionally made? It is deep fried, and I believe it's oven baked, then it's deep fried. Sorry about that.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know anymore.
Okay, then. Now let's go back to burritos. Would you say a tortilla is bread, pastry? What do you think a tortilla is?
Tortilla is it's tortilla
But
because you can make tortillas out of things that bread is traditionally not made out of, such as corn.
that's true. That's true. But what about cornbread?
Cornbread? I mean, I don't even know what cornbread's made out of. I'm sure it is corn and bread, but
Honestly, I don't know what cornbread's made out of either, so I'm not gonna go too deep into that. Now, onwards back to the burger talk. You were saying a patty is the thing that makes a burger, right?
yeah, patty's what makes it.
But what about like a sausage patty on breakfast sandwiches? You were saying that that is technically a sandwich as well, right?
Sort of.
All right. But what determines a breakfast sandwich to actually be a sandwich? Does it have to be sweet, savory? What do you think?
A breakfast sandwich, I mean, it could be, it could be really anything, really. Because, I mean, my favorite thing to get from McDonald's is those sandwiches. I think it's called the McGriddle. It has a very syrupy bread. Those are my favorite things to get personally.
Yeah.
You usually don't do that unless you're having a smash cake at a little kid's birthday party.
Yeah.
And
Or you're a
another
psychopath.
thing, yeah, or you're just crazy.
Yeah.
Or if the frosting in the middle, that's more of a liquid than a solid. And I think to make a sandwich, it has to be a solid thing in the middle. Of course, excluding peanut butter and jellies.
Yep. Yep. Now let's go on to. I think we need to talk about toast now. So, would you say a piece of toast is a sandwich, just a single piece of toast?
Just a single one? No, that's a piece of toast.
But what if you toast it and you fold it in half with butter? It's bread with an ingredient in the middle of it.
I don't think that it's still the same. I mean, it depends on what ingredients in the middle.
But once you go into multiple steps in, is it still a piece of bread or is it a sandwich? Because if you're just eating bread, what are you going to say? Like if someone asks, if you're eating bread and I ask, hey, what are you eating? What are you going to say?
Probably, I mean, if it's cooked, I'm going to say toast.
But what if it's not cooked?
I mean, I'm just going to say I'm eating bread.
All right, but what if you put jam on the toast? What are you going to say? You
That
still
may-
going to say toast or are you going to say toast with jam?
I'm going to say, yeah, jam toast.
But is that a sandwich? Because you're more than one step in, and if you fold it in half, it's a sandwich. It's essentially a jelly sandwich
I guess
instead of a
when
PB&J.
you get to that point of when it's folded in half, I guess you could consider it a sandwich because then all you need is peanut butter and it's a PB&J.
Alrighty then. Now, about fried foods, like an Oreo, for example. A fried Oreo, is that a sandwich?
I mean, technically, the Oreo itself is a sandwich because what separates an Oreo from an ice cream sandwich? Besides the fact that it's cold.
We haven't gotten ice cream sandwiches yet. Good thing you brought that up. Now, what would you say is it bread? What do you think the outer crust of an ice cream sandwich is made of? Sometimes it's cookies, but that's a pastry. So, would you say that is a sandwich though?
With cookie?
Yeah, because did we ever agree if pastries are a form of bread?
I'd say pastries are a form of bread.
All right, I agree. So, would you say a ice cream sandwich and cannolis are essentially sandwiches? Because they have ingredients in them and they're surrounded by bread.
The thing that separates those is just the way it's shaped. Because cannolis, they're more of a tortilla.
Like a burrito? I know
Yeah,
what you're
more of a
talking
burrito.
Yeah.
But a sandwich, it's two pieces of bread, when a cannoli is one whole piece folded on top of each other.
But you got me at a loss for words here. Okay, how about we go on to a wrap? Like lettuce wraps. Would you say those are sandwiches? People call them sandwiches, but I'm not so sure.
For me, it's still a wrap because, I mean, it's the same as a burrito. It's not two pieces of bread. It's one full thing, and it's got stuff in the middle.
Alrighty then.
And tortillas can also be made out of corn as well, which is not what typically bread is made out of unless you're eating cornbread.
Is there anything you'd like to ask me about sandwiches before we end off?
I mean, with your definition of sandwich, it's 2 pieces of bread. So what do you think about like Hot Pockets, for example?
I would say that's a sandwich, but is it also a calzone? Because I think we went over calzones, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say a Hot Pocket is not a sandwich because the bread is uniform in all forms. Once you cut it in half, though, that's a whole different thing. That's a sandwich.
It could be a sandwich. I still consider it more. I mean, again, like you said, it's a calzone.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to ask before we end off?
Not that I can think of. I mean, maybe because there's still so many dough items like corn dogs. We haven't gone over those.
Oh, that's true. Oh, actually, let's do that real quick.
Corn dogs.
Yeah, corn dogs. So what about a Korean corn dog? You know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen a Korean corn dog. No.
Okay, a Korean corn dog is essentially like a normal corn dog, but there's like little cubes of potato put in the batter. So whenever you fry it, you have potato,
Ooh,
the
that sounds
batter,
good.
some ketchup, some mustard, and the hot dog on a stick.
That sounds really good.
Pretty good. But would you say that's a sandwich? Because it's a batter instead of bread. It only becomes bread after you fry it.
Yeah, that's the. Again, it's a full, it encompasses the thing fully. I think for it to be a sandwich, I have to be able to see what's inside of it. If I can eat it and not know what's inside of it, I don't think it's a sandwich.
Alrighty then, so I think we've gone on long enough. How do you think about bringing in the next guest?
I mean, I'm ready when you are.
So, well guys, we'll see you soon with the next guest, and see you in 1 second. Alrighty, now, Jimmy, where did you come from?
Imagination.
Okay, then. Okay. So, do you know why I brought you on here along with Carson?
I'm a guess this thing you've been blabbing about for the entire time you've been in this class. Sandwiches.
Yeah, pretty much. So, let's go off the first topic.
Okay.
What is the definition of a sandwich to you? And I'll give you my definition after that.
Anything between either a slice of bread or if it has sandwich in the name.
So, that's a different thought than Carson. You're making me think here.
Yes, we are different people, distinctly.
Oh, yeah, I know that now. Now, my definition of a sandwich is any ingredient between bread. So, for example, a hot dog. What if you're too, I'm just gonna say it, what if you're too poor to buy 2 pieces of bread, so you only have 1 piece of bread? So you fold it in half and you put the ingredient in the middle, aka that ingredient being a hot dog, between a piece of white bread that's folded in half. Is that a sandwich or a hot dog?
Does it have condiments?
No.
No, it is not a sandwich.
What if it had condiments though? Like
What
lettuce.
kind?
What if it had lettuce, onion, and mustard? I know that's disgusting.
What
but
are you, a rabbit?
No. Lettuce is good on sandwiches.
On sandwiches?
Yes.
I don't think that's a sandwich, man. That sounds like a hot dog. A corn dog, to be exact.
You got me thinking here. Okay, what about moving on from that? What about chili dogs? Are those sandwiches?
I've never had one, so no.
You've never had a chili
Never
dog?
had a chili dog.
What have you had on a hot dog? Just ketchup and mustard?
Never mustard either. I don't like mustard.
Oh my god. You are uncultured.
Yup. I live under
Okay,
a rock
then.
called Atoka, Oklahoma.
Well, I'm just gonna ignore that. So, now moving on from hot dogs. What about a cannoli?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, do you know what a burrito is?
Yes.
Alrighty, so a cannoli is essentially remove the tortilla and make it like puff pastry, and remove the burrito ingredients and you put like sweet ingredients.
What's puff pastry?
Have you had pie?
Yes.
Pie crust.
Oh. Okay.
Did I explain it?
Yes.
Okay then. So would you say that pie crust and an ingredient would make a cannoli?
Describe to me how it's wrapped around this.
Think of it like an unfolded burrito. So you have your cannoli crust or
Then no.
puff pastry, then you have your ingredient, then you just roll it like you would fold.
Can I see inside of it?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Then you would say that's a sandwich or a
I'd
burrito?
say it's a wannabe sandwich, but yes.
Okay then. Okay then. Now what about burritos?
No.
Why not?
Tortilla.
But tortilla is bread, is it not?
Stretching there, buddy. You're stretching.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from with corn tortillas, but what if it's a flour tortilla? Because it's the same ingredients as bread. Just it's made.
Different texture. No.
What about flatbread? It has bread in the name, and you put ingredients in it. Is that a sandwich? It's the same. It's the same texture, just different ingredients, and it's in a different shape.
On principle, no.
But bread is in the name.
Principle.
Alrighty, I can go with that. What do you think about burgers?
Not a sandwich, but amazing and the best thing ever since created since dinosaurs.
Why is it not a sandwich?
Burger patty?
So you're same as Carson? You agree with Carson?
Yep. Although a chicken or a turkey one, I would say is a sandwich.
Have you ever had a chicken burger?
Yes, I've had a chicken burger.
Did you like it?
I regretted it with every cell in my body.
Have you had a turkey burger?
Yes.
Was it good?
I'd rather eat a worm.
So guys, if we get like 50 views, we'll have Jimmy here eat a worm. Anyway, so
I don't agree to this statement. I do not consent.
we'll hold you down. We'll force you to eat a worm, man. Trust me.
Oh boy. There's
We'll
not
put it
enough
in
yet.
between bread to make
You
sure
all
it's
don't
a
weigh
thing.
enough for this.
Yeah, we'll put it in between bread to make it a sandwich,
Oh
just
my.
so it fits the episode's idea. Anyway, now what about breakfast sandwiches? Because you have bagels, you have croissants. I didn't even go over croissants with Carson.
Croissants don't have anything in them. They're just bread.
Well, technically, bread doesn't have anything in it. It's just bread. So is a croissant bread?
No, it's a croissant.
But you just said that a croissant is nothing but bread.
Yes, with nothing in it. There's one distinct piece. It is not two pieces. It is one. There is nothing in the middle. There's only one ingredient. Bread.
What if you cut it in half?
It's still just bread.
What if you put a...
You need more than one ingredient.
So you see my idea that a sandwich has to have more than one ingredient, or it has to have multiple steps involved.
Yes, but definitely not a croissant, man.
What if you put egg, bacon, and a sauce on it?
Yeah,
What if you just put bacon?
that'd be a sin, but yes.
Why is that a sin?
We live in the South, man. You're just messing bacon up. You will be hunted down. They will find you and take you to an Alabama holler.
I lived in OKC most of my life. Sorry.
I'm
Anyway.
from McCurtain County.
Don't know where that is.
Those who've been there know.
All right, so
How we
continuing on to something I didn't even talk about with Carson. Sushi. Have you had sushi?
once and I spit it up.
Man,
I'm American as it comes.
Americans are just so uncultured.
2 world wars. I broke him. I broke him.
Man, you're reminding me of Coach Sharp's banner.
Yeah.
For all you future viewers who don't know who Coach Sharp is, Coach Sharp was a teacher who taught during the 2023-2024 school year, right?
Yep, he was involved in the Goblin Wars.
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, the Gnome Wars.
I'm not even going to respond to that, so that's a whole other topic for another time. Okay, what about calzones and pizza? Let's first go over calzones, though.
Sandwich.
Hot Pockets.
Nope.
Well, I know.
Hot Pocket.
But,
I survived off of those things. No, they're not a sandwich. There's a distinct difference.
okay then. I agree that a calzone is a sandwich, but
Is.
it is.
It is not.
You just said it is.
I say there's a distinct difference. Don't misquote me.
Okay then, my bad. So, why is a calzone not a sandwich?
Simple. It is a singular. What's the word? It's not cut in half to start with, and I don't really consider that bread too much. There's a few more different ingredients than bread.
That's true. It has seminola flour instead of white flour sometimes. You probably don't know what that is, do you?
I kind of do because I had to cook with it once.
Yeah. So, what about like, let me think here.
If you say pizza bites, we're fighting.
I like pizza bites. I'm not bringing those up.
Good.
So, what would you say about, let me think here. What about Uncrustables? Are those calzones? Are those sandwiches? Because a calzone is the single piece of bread fully enveloping the ingredients.
No,
But what about
they're
an
a sandwich.
Uncrustable?
They're a sandwich
Why?
because unlike a calzone, they had to be put back together afterwards.
What if you toast it?
Not a sandwich.
Is it a calzone if you toast it?
No,
Why not?
calzones have to be hot.
You're toasting bread. It's going to be hot.
Skibbity.
You're breaking me, Jimmy. You're breaking me so hard right now. Okay.
Dude, I
then.
live for chaos, so I'm never gonna agree.
I can tell. Trust me, I can tell. Going back over to sushi. Is sushi a burrito?
How?
Well,
How?
Sushi is. What do you say? What makes a burrito a burrito is the wrapping technique.
Tortilla.
Or is it just the tortilla?
Tortilla.
What about tacos?
And like a different version of tortilla, but dollar store brand.
Hard shell taco.
Baked tortilla.
A tortilla is already baked, though.
It's baked. It's baked squared, okay?
Not even argue with that one. So. Yep. Okay. What about Oreos?
Ooh. Mini sandwiches.
Ice cream sandwiches.
Yep, sandwich is the name. That's gotta be a sandwich.
Do you think a sandwich has to be cold or hot to be considered a sandwich?
Nah.
So cold or hot to be considered a sandwich.
Yep. Doesn't matter. Hey, I ain't discriminating.
You guys understand him? I don't. And I work with him.
They don't either.
Man, I regret this already.
Oh, it only gets worse from here, man.
All right. What about a cake? Would that be a sandwich?
No, because there's no distinction between the ingredients and the outside.
But what if you only have like, let me think here real quick. What if you have the cake, icing, cake?
Can you see it from the outside? No, there is icing all around the cake. As such,
What if there's
cake.
no icing around the cake?
Can you see the differences? No, because it'd be falling out if it isn't. So, on
No,
the
it
entirety of the
wouldn't.
outside.
Buttercream frosting doesn't slide out. It's a thick, like paste-like thing. So is that technically a sweet sandwich, like a peanut butter and jelly?
Technically, I would say it's a calzone. If I had to be pressed on it, calzone.
I regret this episode already. I really do.
In case y'all are wondering why I'm being such a hater, because he has been nonstop about this the entire time. So the entire time, I've just been coming up with the most weird arguments against this stuff, and I'm only using like 1% of them right now.
Time to get serious. Bagels. Is that a bread?
French.
I'm sorry, what?
French. It's a French. It's French.
What?
What are they made with? Give me the ingredients of a bagel.
I believe it's egg, flour, yeast. It's basically bread, but it's cooked in a different form. I believe a bagel is deep fried until it's not cooked all the way. Then it's cooked in an oven.
So it's
That
just
might be
more-
contradicting earlier.
It's just
Don't
more
quote me.
well-made bread.
Essentially. But what about
Are you putting something between the bagel?
yes. Is that
Cool.
is it a breakfast sandwich if you put egg?
Is
bacon?
it two separate pieces of bagel?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a sandwich, I guess.
Okay. What about a jelly-filled donut?
No. And gross.
I hate jelly-filled donuts too, trust me. But are they calzones or sandwiches?
Neither.
Why do you say that?
You can see the jelly.
That's fair. But what if the sauce and the cheese and the meat pop out of the calzone and bacon?
Still a calzone.
There's no distinction, though.
I know.
You just don't want to cooperate, do you?
Yep, I'm a Karen. Actually, no, I'm a sovereign citizen. Any cops who watch this are going to cringe when they hear that. Talking to you, Lieutenant Richardson
I know what you're
of
talking
the OHP
about.
Highway Patrol,
I know what you're talking
badge number 65.
about. I'm just disappointed in you. Well, guys, this sandwich episode has gone all over the place. I think we just need to end it off. What do you think?
I mean, I'm fine with going on as long as you want, but I mean, if you're
You
tired
know
of
what?
getting
You
whooped,
want to ask me questions? Let's do it. Come on, let's go.
is cereal a soup?
That's not even the topic
Is
of today's
cereal
episode.
a soup?
Yes,
Why?
because soup is an ingredient with liquid. Cereal is an ingredient with liquid. It's a soup.
And that's it, folks. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.